Good morning or good afternoon. This is a weekly update for my key resources and key partners. Been in the restaurant industry or fast food business for the last 8 to 10 years, but I still learn quite a bit every time I have time for research. Key requirements or key resources or partners which I thought I required were my food distributor and the beer distributors. I was leaning more towards the way we do distribution in the convenience stores and gas stations, but this is going to be a little bit more different. From the people I talked with, some of them are really good friends of mine, and so I consider them as gurus because they have been in the business longer. Their envision and predictions were based on their experience, and uh, again, the main key to the operations, as we figured out, is of course your food wholesalers, your distributors, and of course they wanted me to do a little bit more, not research, but find out a little bit more about the restaurant equipment stores. I do have equipment, existing equipment that I will use, but I would need to find some restaurant supply stores that I would probably need for the prices. I guess from what I talked to them have varied quite a bit, so it's going to be a little bit more expensive and heavy on my budget if I don't find out a bit more about the restaurant supply chain. So that would be one of the partners that I would need to do a little bit more digging about. Local produce was one of the things that as a franchise, we were supposed to buy produce and food and all the meat and cheese from the same vendor, but I will have a choice if I go independent to choose who I want to buy my local produce from, and so most of my friends in the restaurant business, 50% of them they say they buy it from the vendor they get their food from, and others say they buy a local, others say it depends on the price, and so they flip flop and change between who's cheaper and fresh or wherever easy accessible or needed at that time. And then marketing as a key resource was another thing that they emphasized that I need to work on a bit more than I have put emphasis on. What I thought, pretty familiar with the key business partners for this type of business. Marketing is the key ingredient. Um, I thought distributors are easily accessible because they're going to need business from me, but I guess I need business from them, or vice versa. But more so, it would depend on the segment target, the customers, the target, my target segment, what their taste would be. Right now, I have not experimented on what they're going to be, which beer, dark, light, or what kind of beer they would be um, leaning more towards, but I need to do a little bit more research on my distributors. Local produce is preferred, like I said on the last slide, and from what I know, what I thought, there were three main distributors in town, not taking any names, that we have bought from in the past for our businesses. What I found out are there are way too many food wholesalers, so it's going to be a hard decision. I have gotten in touch with three of them, and their prices vary in each product. Some of the products are priced higher than the other vendors, some are lower. It just, I guess, they have different markups and they make up somewhere along the line. For selling something cheap, they make it up on the other one that they're selling for a higher price. What I did find out is beer distributing is a big business. Um, I talked with three of them, and again, volume, I guess, is going to be the key and a deciding factor from who I go through. I really don't have to stick with one. I can choose different distributors in the alcohol side. Trends change, so do taste. So, like I said, it's going to depend on what the customers will like at that point. But I'm going to gear more towards most of the business is going to be done in this area in the summertime and the fall. So I'm going to gear towards the beer that would be that sells the most at that time of the year. It's good to have more than a few choices, so I'm going to work on contacting a couple more. People usually like to know if the business has been in existence or what the volume is going to be, what the sales revenue is going to be. So I have a little bit more idea on that, so I can talk and do a little bit more have more conversation based on that. Marketing, I knew marketing is one of the key factors that I need to really focus on. I used to really, again, have not come up with a definitive figure that I want to put on marketing. It is between 3 to 4 grand a month. I have been told that it might be okay for the kind of revenues and profit margin that I'm looking for. Marketing, again, out of sight, out of mind, so it has to be consistently done. So the budget is still pending on that, and but I have a little bit idea on projections. So this is what I found out so far, and hopefully get a better understanding and a little bit more clear as I write my business plan. Thank you.